Another interesting fire episode, LVYC Life Pivot. Stay tuned, man. We just here trying to drop gems, trying to empower, trying to, reiterate on, what it takes for people to pivot through obstacles when things aren't working, their life stories, what got them where they're at, what fueled their passion, what fueled their direction, And I feel like the most important thing is coming from the youth, younger people that can tell their stories and, where they're going, where they're coming from and where they're going, Right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, young Neptune.
Yo, listen, man, my name Neptune, everybody call me Neppy for short, Very happy to be here, LVYC.
Likewise, man. I'm happy to have you, man.
You know what I mean, man?
Happy to have you.
I'm from New York, Flatbush, Brooklyn to be exact. You know what I mean? I'm a creator, in all forms, man. It goes deep. Art, graffiti art, street art, fashion. I'm a fashioniste. I'm a fashion freaking stylist. I'm a musician, and all types of, categories of music.
Very dope. Very dope. Where would you say that that high level inspiration? Because most people, they wake up, they just want to be confined to their job, or they're just doing one thing. So where would you say was your initial flare or fire? Where'd you get that initial fire to get into the things that you are into now?
New York.
100. Yep. Seeing it out and about.
Yep.
Same for me. Same for me.
Yeah, exactly. You know what's up. So it's like New York is like you can't miss it.
Facts.
You just from a baby, you coming outside and everything is colorful. Facts. Everything. There's graffiti on the walls every day. Everybody's pop locking and dancing. There's always a new dance to do. Yep. There's always a new song that's jumping.
Art, everything.
Right. There's always new clothes. That's the newest, flyest thing in the hood. Everybody want to be the next flyest person in the hood. Like
facts. Competing, watching everything.
Yeah.
I used to people watch. Same. That's how I got a lot of my fashion sense. I remember we moved to New York in '87 from Jamaica, and they'd be like, yo, Dumbo, banana boat, watching my drobe, where my era, we had to write down everything we wore. So I would say you're right. New York is a very strong point on how I got into fashion and tasteful things, just seeing it every day, like you said.
Right. It definitely, like, inspired me crazy, you know what I mean?
A normal day, too.
Exactly. And it was like, it really hit from junior high school. Junior high school is when I met, like, my other friends and shit. Like, I always was, like, already, like you said, just growing up in the house in New York, the fashion is already going to be there.
Take on that influence first quarter.
Right. But the art and stuff, that stuff came to me, like, junior high school. I met, a group of my friends and stuff, and they was, like, graffiti connoisseurs.
Yeah, the influence of New York, man, is unmatched. I don't think there's no influence like New York between art, fashion, the culture, people, music. Right. It's monumental, man. That kind of shaped me since I moved there in like kindergarten to now. I feel like I've always had a crazy taste of fashion. And I remember there was this article with Dame Dash when he got introduced to Jay-Z, and they said from him seeing Jay walk down the block, he knew if he was a cornball or not, and if he wanted to do business with him. So that let you know how raw our taste is and our senses compared to anywhere else in the world.
And it really builds you up too, because it's like you start traveling all of these other places and
it's not the same.
Right. You walk into places and it's like these things that you pick up, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that other places, but just saying like, just that juice you get. Yeah. You walk in other places and it's like a light on you.
And people pick up on us too. I remember living in the Northwest for a second. I'm in like Portland, and people there was like, "You're from New York, from Miami. What are you doing here?" And it showed me how powerful our influence is, which it was almost like they was intimidated.
Right.
I can't dumb down me or where I'm coming from. So when you walk into a room, I'm sure these people know, like, yo, where's this guy from?
100%.
They see a drip, they probably like, yo.
I've been to art galleries out here already, like Broad Museum, Keith Haring, and I'm saying things. The things that I'm saying, these people, like, they're looking at me, they're like,
how
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
They're not even knowing, like, I've been in tunnels and seen real raw Keith Haring's.
It's the influence. It's the influence, you know, for you to pick up on it and then take it and manipulate it in your own sense. I feel like we do that with fashion. We do that with art. We do that with music.
Right.
We take it and run with it. We get an influence of something, we run with it.
Right.
So ingenuity is key too. I feel like that's what separates a lot of people. The movers and shakers are actually doing. The masses is watching the doers do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So that's very powerful.
100%. So exactly right. And that's why I love being a doer. Because it's like you don't know who you motivating out there to go do some new stuff.
And I think people have it in their cultures too. Cause like, what's your raw ethnicity?
I'm American. My father, you know what I mean, Jamaican culture. You feel me? Jamaican side. My mom, American side. You feel me? So I get the best of both worlds. Especially growing up in Flatbush, having a American mom.
And that raw influence of both.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Coming outside, you feel me? Curry goat up the block, you know what I mean? Roll tea lady right there. Then coming inside the house, and then grandma making the soul food. Like, it's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm pretty sure most New Yorkers could even relate to this too. That's the crazy part about it, of understanding, like, yo, it's just so much cultures out there, man. You might know how to talk Spanish if you're from out there. You know what I mean?
Facts. You pick up on it, mingling with people, growing up amongst people. Yeah. That's kind of how I grew up too. It was mainly like Puerto Rican and Dominican. I mean, there's other Latin races, but that was a primary core of what I knew Spanish was growing up. Yeah. So you get a little bit older, then you tap into the other lanes of it. But that's what New York was.
Yep. That's a fact. Yep.
New York, Connecticut, the whole like East Coast region. That's mainly what that strong core influence is. You know?
100%. You know what I mean? So you'll definitely hear that coming out of me sometimes. Like, you definitely gonna hear the wagwans, the brethren. You're gonna hear that come out of me sometimes. You know what I mean? For real.
100%.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely running through me heavy.
Oh, that's what's up. So overall, what would you say, like, is the main thing you're passionate about, you know, and like what fueled you over the years to get through obstacles, you know?
It's honestly, like, it's a few things, you know what I'm saying? Like, see, the thing with me is, like, my life and how certain things went, it was situations that put me to the next level.
Got you. So things you was going through, changes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, the first big thing that hit me was losing my friend, you know what I mean? My friend, you know what I mean? Reckless, you know? I was young. And he was young, and he got shot. He got killed.
Crazy. And reckless sound like he was living reckless.
He was living reckless, exactly. You know what I mean? And, you know, he got shot. He got killed. And that changed everything for me right there. Like, that's just when everything just kind of...
So it was like a little eye-opener or just like an epiphany or what?
Definitely wasn't. What
did it do for your perspective day to day?
What it did to me, it threw me in a dark place. It threw me in a dark place, and it threw me like in this whole little whirlwind of like fuckery. You know what I mean? I was just young, and I just was
making
mad.
the wrong decisions.
Making the wrong decisions around the wrong people, mad every day about this situation that can't be reversed. You get what I'm trying to show you, and thinking that you're above God when really you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it kind of bring you down to ground level a little bit.
Exactly. And, you know, just doing the wrong things and stuff like that, and it just turned me into a revolving door of jail. Rikers Island, back and forth, over and over.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? And to the point where it's like, it wasn't even about certain situations that started me in the streets. It's like, it just became like a whole bunch of scattered shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to the point where you don't even realize how deep you are.
It influences you day to day, because for me, what it did was it created a norm. Like, I seen people getting money. We didn't have money. We wanted money. We start doing illegal stuff that became a habit. And then until you know, have run-ins with the law, you risk your life, stuff like that, then you realize, like, oh, snap, you know, what am I doing? But in that process, though, I would say is where the changes come, where you actually have to pivot, because if you don't pivot, you stay stuck, or you stay stuck behind bars.
Exactly.
So what would you say, like, your overall going through these experiences, what would you say the term pivoting means to you. Like if you compare it to these life obstacles you went through to get you now, to get you where you at now in life, what would you say pivot is for you in your life?
Pivot definitely is me right now, who I am right now. You know what I mean? Like in the future me and ongoing me. You know what I mean? It means a lot to me, bro. It means a lot. And whoever's watching this need to know the pivot is very important. Whatever you out there doing, don't know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm only 29. I was just 18 a couple of years ago, so I already know what's up. The pivot is very important, bro, because if you don't pivot, you will be stuck.
Stay stuck in the sauce.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Like
peeling your tires.
Yeah, sometimes you can't get out. Like, literally, like, it's the last, you know what I mean? And that was the big thing for me. Like, I had just, you know, it's crazy because the streets and all the craziness I was going through in the street stuff wasn't the thing that made me have the epiphany to pivot. That wasn't the thing. What happened with me was betrayal. Betrayal was the pivot for me.
Deceit, lack of honor. We know, but I think if you following a code, stuff like that hit home. The people that's not following a code, then it's whatever. So I was taught, like, you follow a standard or you fall for anything. So the people that's falling for anything, they don't have no standard. And if you have a standard, you're going to leave them people behind.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what made me pivot. After a while, getting in trouble, you don't have nobody else there but your mom, your dad to call on, or one or two real people that you could actually call.
Right.
I had to pivot then. Once I realized, like, oh, shit, I'm locked up, this, that. I don't have nobody to depend on. I had to pivot at a very early age. So I'd say, like, that's what catapulted my life now. I mean, from then to now, because if I didn't go through them experiences, I'd probably be going through it as a grown man. So give thanks you go through that stuff so early because it pivots you, you know, you go left and then you start getting left results.
Exactly.
But if you were just on that same path, you just beating your head against the wall pretty much and not going nowhere.
And I say that all the time. I be saying
that's
that
very
all the time.
Powerful.
Sometimes I talk to my mother and I be like, I don't really have regrets. Why? Because I'm kind of happy that I got
that you go through them experiences because it learns you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it put me in certain places. Honestly, it's just the reality. Like, it made me go through certain things that just, woke me up.
Especially if you don't have no silver spoon. So would you say you grew up in a rich family, middle class, poor family? What would you say your tax bracket was?
Nah, yeah, I definitely grew up like I could say poor because we was like food stamps. We was Section 8. You know what I mean? Like you feel me? Like
see, and even that all of that stuff builds character. I think not to say people better than each other, but I know for sure my story. We were piss poor. My mom was the Jamaican mom in the 80s, 90s working 3 jobs. So I don't know nothing else other than them 3 jobs. Whether it be the 3 jobs or me having to like multitask and have other professions that I've had to pivot from, selling shoes, cars, working corporate jobs, working in the nightlife, promoting, branding. Anybody that knows me over the last decade, I've probably had to rebrand myself maybe 10 times just to get to where I'm at now and moving forward. You know? So even this platform is a form of like rebranding because I've seen it, taking off for people. And I'm like, I got a crazy story too. I don't feel like a lot of people's stories is authentic. So that's what kind of made me get into this podcast lane. I'm like, you know what? I didn't have my information to empower younger people. So if I'm in a position to spread these gems and grow with people, I look at it like I'm investing information into younger people. So since the day we met, that's what I told you. I was like, man, I'm a very connected, influential person with a lot of information that, at the moment I'm not outside. I'm a single parent, full-time. Anybody that knows me, I multitask. So I learned to empower younger people because that's the future. So if I want to be successful in the future, let me try to instill and drop some gems, and it's up to you to run with it.
Exactly.
That's kind of how this whole thing came about. And it's just basic stuff that people are into day to day. But if you don't have the the skills set, willpower to actually execute, good luck. Good luck. So I take my hat off to anybody that I see with creative talents, with some type of drive, ingenuity, or just raw taking the risk. Right. I know that's what got me where I'm at. Any successful room I've ever walked into, it's just risk takers.
Exactly.
It's a small amount of people that are like trust funds that I would say, okay, you got that type of money that if you burn it, it can't burn. It's a small amount. The rest is just from raw risk.
Right, 100%.
Raw risk.
Ooh, and talking
before
about...
you forget, yep. Yeah, you said you was going to drop me a little something.
Yeah. Talking about creativity, and risk takers.
Woof, y'all see the packaging. Y'all see the packaging. Woof, you see what it is. Fresh drop.
That's Bad Kid right there.
See what it is. You see what it is.
Yep.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
Definitely, bro.
And you know what? By the way, I got a gift for you, too. Some fresh new Lvyc merch.
Yeah, I need that. Yep. I need that, man.
There you go. Hopefully that fits. That's one of our minimalist.
Oh, yeah, that's my size. That's large.
Logo print shirts.
Yeah.
Keep you dripping in Lvyc.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on, man. Of course, bro.
And see, that's what it's all about, creating this platform for creatives to just evolve, and showcase their talents and anything that you're into creative-wise, and bringing it to the world. Any product, any fashion, music, art, this is what this platform is all about, man. So I'm excited to take part into this brand and us to collab and try to execute greatness, man.
100%.
Like when we see all these big fashion houses doing these big art collabs, we have the ability to do it. That was a big part of why I moved to LA, man.
Right.
So I'm glad you took that risk from New York to here because sky is the limit. A rich person told me here, yes, the taxes is high. It's one of the most expensive places to live, but guess what? You got to work until expensive becomes cheap. This is work. This is work right here. So that's all I know.
100%.
That's all I know.
100%.
And the power of networking is very powerful. Do you believe in the power of networking? This is a form of networking right now.
Look, your network is your net worth. You know what I mean? I believe in it like wholeheartedly, like down to the point when I was young and I was going through
connecting with people.
I was going through bad situations and I was in jail, but guess what? You know what I was always going through inside there? I said, hey, man, look, I'm in the mud right now. I can't get out. One thing I'm going to do, this is called jail, right? I know it got to be some people inside here that's about some money.
That's smarter than the bars that y'all in. That's facts.
100% facts. So instead of just being stressed every day about these four corners, I'm going to get outside and let me see. Oh, he said he's making money. He from here. He from Brooklyn. He moving. He doing that. Okay, let me connect with some guys.
That's
and there's some real solid people that I met that I know to this day that, like that's not even illegal people no more. Literally, that's like rich to this day.
Sometimes it's just for the moment.
Like,
I think jail, from my experience, either like makes or breaks you. Luckily, I was having my run-ins very early and had capital to hire high-power lawyers and stuff that kind of like shaped and mold me in the right direction. Was just like, yo, you playing with fire.
100%.
You want to secure your next 10, 20 years of your future, leave this stuff alone.
100%.
You're gonna run out of lawyer money, and we can only help you but so much. So I'm glad I experienced that at an early age because it took that yearn or stuff out of my life. So now as an adult, I know the risk. I know
exactly
what I'm working with, that my reality can go like this. So I think a lot of people, until you have that hands-on to know, people still going to be playing with fire. I meet adults that want to play with fire.
100%.
So give thanks that you got out of your system because it could have made you go left and you probably wouldn't have been able to come back right.
Exactly. and I'm gonna add this again too. I'm 29 for who out there watch. 29, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, I've been since I say 26 is when I really started like waking up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I want to add this.
It's alignment.
Psychedelics. I want to add that too. That was a lot of my help. I'm not even
to open your brain. So in which form would you say the psychedelics help? Because a lot of people lean towards hard drugs. They have lack of faith. They don't come from strong families. So give thanks that you didn't go that route. What made you lean towards the psychedelics out of
actually
everything?
Did. That is
at one point.
That is what leaned me to psychedelics. I was heavy on Percocets.
Got you. So that opened you up. Where would you say you got exposed
Atlanta.
to that stuff? Atlanta,
the nightlife, man.
Got you. Being around the wrong people, bro. Peer pressure.
Yeah, I moved to Atlanta, bro. All I ever did was smoke weed. I've always been a weed. I love weed to this day. I've always loved weed all my life. I get to Atlanta.
But at some point, the peer pressure kind of opens some doors.
You know, it's the nightlife. Atlanta, bro, it's that.
Yeah.
It's not that. Songs you hear, bro, it's not
one of the most extreme places I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's that, bro. And if you living out there, like eventually the temptation becomes very hard
the norm.
To get away, bro. Yes, exactly, bro. It becomes a norm. Everybody, you around your homies, these dudes got big money, big house, they drinking lean, they taking birds.
And everybody's just on regular vibe.
Right. You thinking like, oh, okay, so I guess I could drink lean too. I guess, you know what I'm saying? And I got hooked on that bad, bro. Wow. Bad. I was on opiates. That's an opiate game, man. And that's why
I never liked nothing that I couldn't turn off. So my experience of getting exposed to stuff like that, you know, the second I couldn't turn it off, or I felt like I wasn't fully in control, I never got into it. So give thanks that you had the willpower to work through it. Yeah, to jump out.
And I had to go cold turkey too. I went cold turkey. Like I said, I started fucking with the psychedelics. Like it was a girl that put me on one time. Wow. You know what I'm saying? She had some LSD and shit.
And what was your first experience like?
It was
magical.
Crazy, yeah. And I cried a bunch of times and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought like so much of things that was just back in my subconscious that I wasn't trying to think about.
No, facts, because it opens. They say supposedly it opens receptors in your brain and does all type of stuff that you wouldn't normally process or think.
Right.
Some people is too much. Some people is not enough, so they go hard. But if you in tune with yourself, for the most part, from what I'm seeing, it helps people. A lot of these movie producers and directors and stuff that's influencing TV, media, from what I'm seeing, a lot of their thoughts is not normal thoughts. It's psychedelics.
It's psychedelics.
That make them tap into certain areas in their brain. And
app creators, so many people in the tech
use other skills that you wouldn't really tap into unless you have another way to think. 100%. And then they interpret that into what they're doing day to day.
100%.
With movies, shows, all that type of stuff.
That's definitely what happened with me. It just was like, you know, I fucked with it. Like I took the LSD with shorty, and then I say like the next day, bro, like
wow, you had an epiphany. It probably opened you up. Probably took your creativity to other heights. That's what it does for me.
That's what happened, bro.
Takes my creativity to a whole nother heights. Everything I've been able to build and design is just out of body stuff. That day to day, if I was confined it to like a regular job, this, that, I don't think I would have the creative path that I have had. I've had to travel, open my brain.
Yes, bro. Traveling, seeing new things.
Perspective.
I never even wanted to travel until I indulged into psychedelics.
Wow.
I never even
just closed off to it. You just closed off to it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, my mind I wasn't even thinking about it, bro. It's like, once I started messing with psychedelics, like, it just opened me up. Like, yo, bro, like, this is the thing, bro. When I was a kid, I was already like, so I used to like design. All right, so boom. I got into the art and stuff when I had met a couple friends or whatever the case may be.
When did you start bringing the stuff that was in your brain? When did you start bringing that to light? Like, when did you actually sit down, start sketching, drawing, playing with fashion,
junior high school,
playing with music, and realizing like, oh snap, I'm not set to do a regular job. I'm a creative, inspired person. When did you actually tap into your creativity?
When I was like junior high school.
Junior high school, got you.
Yeah, junior high school was the years that, because I used to like, dance hall, you know what I mean? We used to do the dance hall dancing.
And influenced by different things.
Right, so we used to have like dance groups. So everybody used to want their dance group name on the pants and stuff back in the days. It's back when Bogle was jumping, Elephant Man, Beanie Man.
I remember.
That's when all the dances was jumping.
The hype, the hype stuff.
Right. So me growing up, I start playing with the bleach on the pants. Come from that, I start learning a little stitching. Come from that. Next thing you know, I start becoming like kind of popular for always having like custom stuff and customizing.
Taking the risk and not wanting to be like everybody else. Cause that's a huge part of it.
Right.
And having the courage, because what people don't realize is with being different or being like your own inspired individual, which is a slogan for my Lvyc brand, is it takes guts. I always follow the mood. So style to me is not necessarily what somebody's wearing. It's the inside of that person being able to pull it off. You could wear anything and look like a clown,
right,
and be walking around stiff with no swag, but
right.
It's the inside of these things that's fueling you to be like, yo, 100%. I don't want to be like these people. I knew that at a very early age.
Right. And it's
that's huge.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, I was into that from very young. Like I said, the whole, you know, getting into the jail stuff, that didn't happen until I hit like 16. Wow. So that's what stopped me from my creative
start blocking what you actually are happy with.
Right. I became this little mad kid because I'm not doing art no more. I'm not rapping. None of the things I was supposed to be doing, I'm not doing these things no more.
See, that's huge because I feel like in our ethnic communities, we don't have the direction to be like, okay, you're creative. Let's go to a creative school. Let's go to a tech school. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Right.
So that's a huge problem. I feel like kind of a part of why I started this platform, because I feel like there's other routes.
100%.
Like my family, you know, I'm a creative person. They try to give me Ritalin when I was growing up. You know, I remember the kids that was going to the office getting a little cup and the pill. That was just me being creative. That nobody in my family was like, yo, this, you know, he's creative. He's going to be doing different stuff. So my attention span, everything was always different since maybe 5. And I think at like 14, when I start like tapping into fashion, my mom was like, yo, I'm not buying them Jordans. I think that's when I had my epiphany to be like, okay, well, if you're not going to buy or can't afford what I'm into, I'm going to figure out how to feel this mood, because if these people are wearing certain things and they feeling like this, this is how I want to feel. So I think I tapped into my creative powers or ingenuity at a very early age. Maybe at like 14, like you said, that middle school age is when you grow up and you start realizing like, oh, shit is real.
It's other things. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's other things than just like...
Yeah, because I think it hit me around that time too. Maybe like 14, 15. I remember like when you go from like kid size 6 to like 8, that was a big transition.
That's a big
I was just like, okay, like this shit costs, I'm gonna figure it out.
100%.
So we was selling lemonades, we used to sell mixed CDs, burnt CDs. One of my good friends, Evan Rosenfeld and Marlon Spence, we started a CD company, and our buddy Lex as well. Shout out to Lex Promotions. And my whole home team squad, and whatever catapulted us to like want to do that at that age. Now, me at 40, I'm like, a lot of things that I have, it started from then. Not just necessarily the CD business, but just the ingenuity to know that, okay, like we're broke. How are we gonna get money? So I feel like I've been pivoting since them ages, since 14 to 15, people see me now like, yo, how'd you do it? Well, it only took me 20 plus years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like overnight, literally, just pivoting from one thing to another. But at that age, we kind of knew, okay, everybody's not hip to this. Everybody don't want to stay up late night in these chat rooms and figuring out this music. Everybody don't want to go to the flea market, to this risky sketch place. I think we was going like Lion Records. When you hear Rick Ross and them rap about 183rd Flea Market was a very grimy place. I remember buying my first chain there, a real gold chain that I had to put in my socks or in my pocket because you couldn't even wear it out to make it safe to the car. That's the era
different type of
that I'm coming from of grind, but that was my little success story because I was like, okay, I did that with nothing. Adults got these chains. We were grinding that hard where now if I see an old picture, I'm like, damn, I was outside pretty early. I see pictures me and my mans have like in the studio with thousands of dollars, and I'm like, where do we get them thousands of dollars from? So people see now, it's like, no, it didn't just start now. We've been outside from 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And we just never really stopped. You know, so now with the internet, it's being showcased different. You know, so people are freaking out, oh shit, we losing jobs. No. I feel everything that we're losing is being replaced by an internet outlet.
100%.
So your era is key on that, where people are making zillions, streaming, this Kai Switch guy, all of these influential people. It's a new hustle.
Right.
That is no different from when I was 14, that we was hustling shoes, we was hustling cars, baseball cards, limited edition stuff. So now I feel like moving forward, the internet is very powerful. What's your take on the internet? Like, do you feel it's you losing jobs? Do you feel it's a positive tool? What's your take on it? You being younger, like day to day, what's your raw take on it?
All right. Well, one, yes, is the pro is very positive. Of course, I'm able to push brand, market the things that I need to market and stuff like that. What I don't like is some people use it for negative agendas.
Facts.
Push stupidness.
Facts.
And the thing is about
bad mass marketing. That's what I don't like with it. Like right now,
it's like a disease.
It bringing
bro.
people down.
Ideas, bro. Little ideas, bro, turns into what? You know what I'm saying? How much people, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
there was negative people in this world that took one seed and then it destroyed so many people.
No, facts.
So it's like these podcasts, some other podcasts that I see in the world, sometimes you watch them and you be like, man, what are they promoting on this? Like, what do you
Is this positive? Is this negative? No, facts. That's how I feel with like this Diddy controversy. What's your take on that? Like, because I feel like what people are doing behind closed doors, like they say you're innocent until proven guilty, right? So, it's a lot of speculation on what he's doing. I know that he influenced a lot of my insight for me to be where I'm at. He influenced a lot of the culture. He showed us you can do 10 things. Mm-hmm. So he was a big inspiration for the culture. So all this stuff with this controversy, it's like
it's crazy.
It's
right?
crazy. It's crazy. And I'm like,
it's mad mix, right?
Him being black, I feel like white media is kind of like hitting them harsh. I didn't really see where they went at Epstein that hard. And I think it's kind of like an attack. And I feel like what people do behind closed doors, whether you have a little money, a lot of money, that's people's privacy, Right. And I don't really like the bashing behind it, especially from somebody that I was inspired by. Now, let's say the person I was inspired by is doing like illegal stuff, then okay, I could choose to fall back. But the constant bashing, it's pretty crazy, man. So that's where the internet is a gift and a curse, because they control you until there's no tomorrow with the internet.
It's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster.
Like, for real. And it's like, it's crazy because it's like, damn, imagine a person innocent, and it's like, damn,
and you don't know.
The damage. Yeah.
Like somebody, a couple breaks up, the first thing a female says, oh, he raped me. Oh, he touched me here. But okay, why didn't you report it?
Right.
So it's a very tricky and sensitive time that we in. That luckily I'm happy that I'm more into it on a branding aspect. I'm not using it for personal vendetta, personal gain. It doesn't do nothing for me on a personal level.
Right. Exactly.
The second I seen this stuff taking off from like MySpace to now Facebook, all these pivoting platforms that's taking off, I tell people use it as a tool. Use it as a tool, reach
gotta
people.
Use it as a positive tool, bro. Because it's like I said, there's so much people out there that you doing something positive, you don't know how much people.
It's a new TV. In my opinion, I don't really watch TV. It's a new TV. So your era of young people, it's people a very powerful.
TV no more. They hitting subscribe. They hitting subscribe.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, you got these people that's getting subscribed and they pushing a whole bunch of rhetoric. And you got these people over here that's hitting subscribe and they pushing good positivity.
Yes,
so it's like,
or to promote a product. So that's what I love with it. I feel like it's a ingenuity, like the ingenuity part is what I love. Like being able to use this platform. I mean, I have a brand. I'm an entrepreneur coming from nothing. So when I got into all this stuff, I'm like, oh shit, I could make millions of dollars from my phone. I have the ingenuity. I have the skills. Nothing is stopping me. So I love it for that standpoint, and even me starting this platform was just to give away information. I feel like I got a lot of information in my brain I'm a connected person. I'm very selective with who I engage with. Anybody that I engage with, I feel like has a purpose. So I'm like, okay, why don't you guys explain your purpose and, to and from, like what got you here and where you're going. So I feel like this tool, if it's used the right way, can be an empowering thing. So I would say, in my opinion, there's more pros than cons with the internet.
Definitely more
yes,
pros.
There's negative parts, but there is more pros.
What are you gonna do? It's like the time goes on, and like life elevates and things expand. It's like, what are you gonna do? You just gotta do what's right. And it's like, that's like with my brand.
Innovative changes.
Yeah, it's like with my brand, like Bad Kid, better after determination. It's like, okay, cool, like I'm gonna push this brand, but let me see if there's a way that I could throw a little positive message that I could throw into their subconscious. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Hey, at the same time, too, it's stylish as how, it's drippy as how.
You're taking advantage of the opportunity.
Exactly.
So that's very powerful.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, we definitely in a great time right now. For the people that want it to be the great time. For the people that want it.
Our phone to the TV, they are learning coding. A lot of this stuff is coding. It's IT, it's coding, SEO. That it blows me away. So I'm excited to see
how easy they're making coding now and stuff.
Yes, I'm excited to see what the next 10, 20 years looks like as this stuff is evolving and the world is being forced to pivot from thing to thing. So I'm like,
everybody out there, stop being scared. Learn to utilize it. AI, learn to utilize it.
Take advantage. Take advantage.
You know what I'm saying? Learn it. Like, there's so much ways to utilize it.
It's not a scary thing. Just do the due diligence. The books that you guys are reading.
Exactly.
Focus on reading stuff for the future. What's to come? The next decade, the next 2-3 decades. That's the future. That's what we're living day to day.
And another message to the youngins like that's around my age. Y'all looking at me, y'all probably wondering like, damn, like how, like what gives him the push, or like, you know what I'm saying? What gives him that easy energy to pivot? Bro, environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to change your environment. Don't be scared to say, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to see y'all in a couple years, you feel me? Like, I'm about to go do my own thing and go switch it up and just...
Taking that leap of faith, the risk. Everybody that I know that's successful, that's in this 1 percentile, 90% of it is all risk. Whether it's a good risk, bad risk, you're learning, you're growing.
You have to take it, bro.
You're excelling in different ways. Like, it's just no way you're going to get to where you need to go.
What are you living for if you're not taking... Like, you know what I'm saying? You're just sitting down, not taking a risk. What are you living for? What? You know what I'm saying? Facts. You got to take the risk, bro, to elevate. Like, it just... You know what I'm saying? I got so much people that's stuck on the block right now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Doing the
like
same old, peeling their tires.
Yeah. And it's just like, just go see other things. You feel me? Like, go look at this. Because as soon as you see one, that's another thing that it blew my mind. I always used to see it all the time. Like, go travel. And it gives you so much creative inspiration. I didn't understand that until I did
actually you're doing it.
And I seen what happened to me. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, that's just crazy. Like... Yeah.
Even now,
it's crazy the way the brain works, bro.
Yeah, like, picture if you would have stayed in New York. I feel like if I would have stayed in Miami, I wouldn't have half of the results I do. So I had to take a leap of faith for stuff that I couldn't see just to get out of my comfort zone. I'm like, okay, if I want results that's out of my comfort zone, I got to go out of my comfort zone. So that's a huge part of it. People watch stuff like Jay-Z said, everybody's emulating what they see online. Right. They don't want to emulate the process. They want to emulate when it's not working, sleeping on floors, having to, be in uncomfortable situations, this, that, that.
Hallways and all that.
That's what grows our character, I feel. And that's what is maturing. That's what life is growing day to day.
It wasn't easy to learn art, man. Like my condition of learning art was treacherous.
I'm still learning. I learned through collabing and working with people like yourself. Even like these art pieces you see on the wall and stuff. I'm not a fine artist, but I'm at a creative level where I've always been into this stuff. So I'm like, okay, if I can't physically do it, let me tap into the resources of how to bring this stuff to light. Now I got an art collection of 10, 20 pieces and still building, but I had to dig into my soul and use ingenuity and my networking to bring it to light. Now people see it, they're like, oh shit.
Exactly.
I'm like, well, it just came from my brain and ingenuity, just having will.
And that's why street artists become so fucking good, because it's like, yo, they under pressure.
Yes, our backs against the wall and
hella pressure. Like, yo, police coming.
That's why they said pressure produces diamonds.
Right. That is like, that stuff people don't get it. Like when people see these crazy pieces, they be like, wow, that's so nice. They don't get that person was sweating bullets and almost pissed on itself 3 times that night, and like they don't even know. Like, bro, it was real. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it like you said,
and you fuel it into like diamonds. What you're doing. So like now, you want to tell the people your social media handle, how they can find your work, and what to look for. Like what do you have in store for everybody as you're building right now? You're in LA full time, curating all this stuff.
Right.
Where are you at now? How can they find you online? And what do they have to look forward to?
Yeah, my IG, I'm on IG, Instagram, you know what I mean? I'm a big deal. So it's I'm_a_big deal_. It's just an underscore after every word. I'm a big deal. You can't forget it. You know what I mean? Or write in Neppy Lotto in the freaking search. You're going to find me. You can't miss me. I'm the CEO of Bad Kid Clothing. You know what I mean? Bad Kid Enterprises, Bad Kid Arts, Bad Kid everything, Bad Kid Music, Bad Kid Productions, you know what I mean? Collabing with my guy right here, you feel me? Lvyc. We got a lot of things coming up, you know what I mean? Tell them a little something.
We working on endless projects. I mean, we just
a lot.
Trying to take these collaborative efforts one step at a time, and and basically just connecting with the youth. I mean, I'm tapping into OG status, so my insight day to day is different from the up and coming youth. So I feel like it's very powerful to keep in tune with what's new, what's innovative. Like my taste from 10 years ago is different from the taste now and what's to come. So I feel like these collabs that we're doing are very important, and
but make sure the youth knows though that it's very important for them to tap in to the older culture and understand.
To have a foundation, a raw approach to stuff, and just paying respect and paying homage to the blueprint.
Like, you need to know the blueprint. Like the blueprint, bro. Like you can't. That's one thing about a lot of youngins right now, bro. Like especially like my age, they just run around like think the blueprint is not important.
No, facts.
And you're gonna keep bumping your
head. You have to pay homage, and I tell people,
it's
take inspiration in different forms. Be inspired, but don't copy. Be inspired. Pay respect to where you're getting the information from, but don't ever copy.
Yeah,
because your stuff is as hot as the old stuff.
Exactly. So
don't copy. Stay inspired. Don't lose sight of why you start stuff, and stick close to your goals. Yep. And never be fearful to pivot, because sometimes the pivoting is gonna drop you all type of results that you don't know, that you can't see. But you have to not be in your own way. That's what I'm learning at my mature level. That sometimes over the years I've been in my own way. You be in your head, overthinking stuff. A part of evolving, they say success is a series of going through failures without losing enthusiasm. In that process, you pivot, you shape, new things, you mold new things, and you bring new money. Everybody wants new money. How the hell you gonna get to the new money if you're doing old things and stuck in your old ways? So sometimes you gotta get out of your way to be able to receive the new blessing, the new bag.
Right.
And that's what this platform is about. It's about empowering, enlightening, dropping wisdom, and just living a clean, life and keeping it creative, keeping 100%. Keeping your ingenuity level high. Keeping your network good, keeping your face good, That's how we got here, and this is just the start of many beautiful interviews, and I can't wait to showcase more on this platform because I'm a tasteful person, and I love connecting with people like yourself, man, because you guys are the future. So it's a pleasure having you, man. You already know. I got you the long way, man. And thank you for the gift. Tap
in the bag, kid, man. I'm here, you know what I mean? LA, I soon gonna have some pop-ups. Cannabis on the way, a lot of good things, bro.
Yep. Stay tuned. Lvyc Life Pivot. This is one of the dopest interviews. Stay tuned. We got many more coming. Appreciate y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you.
Hit the subscribe button right
Mandatory.
now. Don't wait.
Stay tuned.
Literally.
Not next week. Right now.
Right now.
Hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
No, literally.
Y'all want to stay tuned? Y'all want us to keep on dropping gems? You want unlimited information? Right. You want to unlock the cheat code of life? You want to not make the mistakes I've made?
Nah, for real.
Stay tuned.
For real.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you.